Hello, my diamonds, my TikTokers, and my Teletubbies. This is for single mothers only.
How do y'all handle when your son is crying out for his father? I was getting my kids in the tub, and my son literally just broke down out of nowhere. He was just like, I miss my daddy. And I just had to get up and leave because I be trying to be so strong for them. But seeing him break down like that and knowing that there's nothing I can do about it, I just started crying, and it really just broke me as a mom, because I always think about how I say, like, my son is like the most difficult, and it's like, until I seen him break down like that about his father, it's like it never even dawned on me that my baby is acting out at such a young age, because he understands the absence of his father and he don't know what to do about it. And my heart aches because I know exactly how he feels being in school and seeing other kids, fathers come pick them up and stuff, and you not knowing how to process that and the emotions that come with it. I know exactly how he feels. But it's like, because I'm doing it by myself, most times it's like I don't have time to stop and address it, as softly and as gently as I would like to, because I'm just stretched in so many different places. And the first time that I've actually seen him just really break down about it, I couldn't even really be there for him because I wanted to be strong, and I couldn't. I just broke down. I broke down, and then they freak out when they see mommy crying, so I just had to go. My heart just breaks for all these kids that are so gravely misunderstood because they don't have their fathers in their lives and they don't know how to process it, so they just start acting out, because I was one of them. And I just knew all my life that when I had kids, it would be different for them. I just knew it, and here I am, and here they are, and I can't fix it. There's nothing that I can do, and I hate it, God. I hate it. How do y'all handle?
Yeah, you see how this mother is staying on the job when the fathers, they just pick up and they walk off. I remember my children's father. He said, I'm not giving up my life for these kids. He left when they were 4 and 5 years old. He said, because they're not going to give up their life for me. Now, I didn't tell that to my children when he left because they were too young. But I did tell it to them later on when I felt that they were mature enough to understand it. I told them later on in life. And then the thing that troubles me is when you have these mothers who stay on the job, falling apart like her. The comments here say, we're praying for you and the babies, asking the Lord to continue guiding you and the kids because you all are amazing. Another lady say, I think about you so often. I'm crying right along with you. As hard as it may be, try and explain it to your son that dad's not away because he wants to be, and he decided to leave. Didn't finish it. You're a wonderful mother. God gives some of the most difficult battles for his strongest soldiers. A test of faith, girlfriend. You got this. We're all praying for you. And yes, I will be sending up a prayer after I make this video. But it's no easy walk in the park being a single mother. And then when you have your children grow up and talk about how narcissistic you are, how you're not perfect, and they talk badly about you and make all kind of videos saying all kind of exaggerations mostly, and it's just horrible. You know, when you listen to all of this. Hold on a moment. I'm making a point because you have a lot of these mothers who put their all in it. They do the best they can. Okay? It's not easy being a parent with two parents, let alone being a single one. And when you did all that you can and your adult children grow up to give you their behind to kiss, just keep this in mind.
So let's talk about toxic children. Everybody always wants to talk about the toxic mama, the toxic daddy.
See, like she said, everybody wants to talk about the toxic mama, even though the mama is sitting there like the previous woman you saw, crying her eyes out, but yet she's always the toxic mama. She don't have to stay there. I didn't have to stay with my children. All I have to do is stay black, die, and pay my taxes.
The mama that didn't give nothing. The mama that didn't raise them right. The mama that didn't love them. The father that was never home. Papa was a rolling stone. Like, let's talk about the children being toxic. Nobody ever discussed that. Let's talk about how children, adult children, don't have any respect for their parents, the ones that raised them, when they could take care of themselves. You know, my mother used to always tell me when I got older, and I thought I knew it all, and she said, girl, you trying to go somewhere I already been. And I used to get mad. I used to just be like, oh, you old. Things are different now. I even used to accuse my mother of being jealous, child, because I just felt like maybe she was just angry because her life was what it was, and here I am, I'm young, and I got my whole life ahead of me, and you're just trying to stop me from being great. That's what I used to think. But I know better now, because I am her. I also am my mother. That was another thing she used to say. When you have kids of your own, you will understand it. You don't understand it now, but you will. And I really just didn't know that my mother was my best friend.
Hello.
I didn't see it. I do now. I know now that my mother had my best interest. And if I could go back and change things, I would. And my mother is alive, y'all. My mother is very much alive. And I tell my mother every day that I love her. And I'm sure she understands, but I just think like how hurtful I had to be to my mother, who made all the sacrifices for me, and how I had to have hurt her to know that the things that came out of my mouth when my mother was doing the best that she could. So now as an adult, I would never. And yeah. So let's talk about toxic children.
I know her mother is very appreciative. Her mother is happy that she woke up and her mother's still alive. And she told her mother, you know, she learned now. I'm sure she's not making videos talking badly about her mother all over social media, trying to tear her mother down. No, she has understanding. And like she said, she now understands because now she's her mother. She said she thought that her mother was jealous. It was never jealousy, honey. Why would I be jealous of my child? My child's success is my success. I can't imagine any parent that wants to see their child fail. I worked hard as a single mother. Every single goal that I set for my children, thanks to Jehovah God and Jesus Christ, I keep it posted on the wall. God-fearing and on Jehovah and Jesus team, smart, educated, well-spoken, have careers, not just jobs, know how to take care of themselves in my absence. And thanks to Jehovah God, I achieved each and every one of those goals that I set for them. Even battling alcohol issues, experimentation with this and experimentation with that, never hooked on no drug. A drug could never get a hold of me. But I've had my share and stages of experimentation. And throughout all of that, being a single parent, raising a cult, Jehovah's Witnesses, which that was a trip. 75% of Jehovah's Witnesses have alcohol issues, understandably so. I have a relative who drinks every day. He's a Jehovah's Witness. Now he said he cut back to every other day. Okay, whatever, child. And I'm happy to hear that for you. But my point is, it's not easy being a single mother and trying to raise a boy into a man. That's difficult. It's damn near impossible. But I hung in there. As many mothers have hung in there. And even though you work hard as a parent, one thing I've discovered is that when it comes to toxic, ungrateful children, the worse they are doing in life, the more they blame their parents. People who are doing good, they don't have a reason to be bitter and tear other people down. Misery loves company, and when they are unhappy and failing in life because things are not going the way that they was hoping for, and things are not looking the way that they imagine it to be, they project their negative feelings where it's not on the parents. Usually it's the mother. It's always the mother's fault why you don't have this. It's your mother's fault why you're living this lifestyle. It's your mother's fault. No, come on. And when I first looked at that video with that woman crying because she's trying to explain to her son what's up with the father, honey, it is what it is. And I cried, and I'm going to pray about this matter because it's not easy being a single mother. I made other videos too. Women are sending their kids to CPS. They can't deal with it. My mother had 5 boys. Can you imagine? I'm the only girl. My mother is my shero. She is my whatever. You would never see me on social media or anywhere speaking badly of my mother, dishonoring or disrespecting my mother. That day will never come, ever. Because I have profound understanding. And what you have to also understand is that sometimes, they say it all starts from home. It all starts from home where you're supposed to have 2 parents. When one parent falls, there's another one there to hopefully help pick you up. But then sometimes no matter how good a parent you are, those kids will still be screw-ups. They'll go out there and make wrong decisions and bad decisions, and then of course they're going to blame you. Because you see, in psychology, it's still a debate whether it's about nurturing or nature. Is it based on the kid's environment or is it just their nature? One thing you can't change is a child's nature. If a child is born a psychopath, it is what it is. If you have a child who is stubborn, very stubborn and defiant and rebellious, that's their nature. It's that no amount of anything can change that except for Jesus. Let me share with you when your adult child is a narcissist. He admits he's a narcissist, and how he always blamed his mother for everything. That's one of the clear signs that your child could be possibly a narcissist. I say you're a narcissist. Sorry.
Hey guys.
So what do you do when your adult child is the narcissist in your life or toxic person in your life? And of course, if you're new here, I'm actually a diagnosed narcissist. So someone sent me a message on Facebook saying the narcissist in my life is my grown adult daughter. I don't know what to do. So as a diagnosed narcissist who has parents in their life, I will just let you know straight up, straightforward, that narcissistic child that you have, adult child, blamed you. They probably are holding you accountable for how they are and how they turned out in life. Regardless if their life is good or bad, if it's good, it's going to be their own fault. They got it out the mud. They came from nothing. But if it's bad, it's 100% your fault. Even if you were not the toxic parent in their life, even if they had another toxic parent, even if their father or their mother was the toxic parent and it wasn't you, they will blame you for choosing that parent. They will blame you for staying with that parent. It's a hard dynamic when your child is a narcissist, because I know a lot of people will tell you to go no contact with a narcissist in your life, but when it's your child, it feels different. But you can still set boundaries with your kids. But again, your possibly toxic child, adult child, will probably cut you off. They'll try to cut you off or hold you accountable. They'll give you the silent treatment. They'll treat you like you are the abusive person in their life, even if you were not the narcissist that have raised them. So the same type of rules apply. You can kind of gray rock them and not give them your reactions. And you can still set boundaries with your kids, just, toxic, narcissistic kids, adults, and teenagers will try to retaliate on you in some way, shape, or form. They don't like they actually like being in control now. Like they feel like things were out of control in their youth, but they can control things now and they can hold people accountable right now. So unless you can talk them into going to therapy or talk them into going to some type of family therapy with you and things like that, they really are going to hold you accountable. You can try to apologize to them, and that could work sometimes, but they still can get angry, y'all. I'll do a longer video about this on YouTube or something like that later, because it's a very nuanced subject, because, I'm a child. I mean, I'm an adult, but I'm a child that has narcissistic personality disorder that did try to hold their parents accountable, even though my mom wasn't the narcissist in my life. I used to blame her for a lot of stuff. I used to blame her for picking my father, even though he was the absent one in my life. He was the, kind of toxic, neglectful parent. You know what I mean? So what do you do when your adult child is
the narcissist? A lot of times it's not what the parents have done to the child. And that's where people get it wrong. It starts in the household. You can have children who have good parents who are hardworking, doing the best that they can. And what turns these kids into narcissists, or turn these kids into the ungrateful adults that they become, it's not what you did, Mom. It's what their peers did, and it's what these men have done to them. A lot of women have been hurt by men, and these men out there who are gay or having dealings with other men, these men have hurt them, and that caused them great trauma, PTSD. But guess who they're going to blame for it? You're not the one who caused them all of their pain, misery, and suffering, because usually when children reach the age of 14, 15, they care more about what their peers think. They want to try to fit in. They want to try to be accepted. And when they're rejected, or they're not treated in the manner that they was hoping for, or they go into a relationship with a man and he treats you badly, he uses you, abuses you, excuses you, he don't value you, don't appreciate you, he just totally rips your heart out. That's what that man did to you. But guess who's getting the blame? You guessed it. You, Mom. Anyway, don't blame yourself, honey, because let me tell you something. Like, I feel sorry for that woman. She's crying. She's working really hard with her son or her children, just for when he becomes an adult, he could give her his behind to kiss. After all that crying, all those sacrifices, all those tears that you witnessed this mother going through, guess how she's going to be paid off in the end. Let me tell you how you're going to have to handle that situation.
Hey guys, just found a...
Nobody break your heart. Can't nobody break your heart the way your children can.
Listen,
right? You can love them, teach them, provide for them, nurture them, protect them, adore them, guide them, discipline them. But that doesn't mean they're going to grow up and love you back. They're individuals. They get out there in the world and they learn a different way from what you've showed them. They come into their own person. doesn't mean you've done anything wrong.
Hello.
Don't walk around feeling guilt, feeling shame.
Yup.
As long as you've done your job. At a certain stage in your children's life, all you can do is just be there for them when they need you. Let them make their own decisions. Let them make their own mistakes. One day, I guarantee you, they'll look back and say, wow, Mama told me that. So for a lot of you who are second guessing yourself, you're worried about your children. I understand. You're worried about their decision making, the people they're around, the finance decisions they have, the person that's in your life. Stop worrying, baby. The only thing you can do is just be there.
That's right.
When that phone call happens. Don't worry yourself. You need to live. Wake up. Be intentional with your life.
You heard
Your
it.
kids will be all right.
Now you have toxic parents out there, and all parents are supposed to apologize, take accountability. What do I think accountability is? You admit that I was wrong. You admit I did this wrong, and I'm so sorry. And if I could go back in time and change it, I would, but I can't. So you have to say you're sorry. Take accountability. Ask them, what could I do to try to make it up to you? Learn what their love language is and act accordingly. And then you have to ask them for their forgiveness. And most importantly, you have to change. You have to make some change. I know I made drastic changes, honey. I used to have issues. And I made huge changes. And then after that, all you can do is pray and leave them in Jehovah God and Jesus Christ's hands. That's it. And like she said, always be there for your children. I don't believe in giving up on my kids. You know, like the lioness, how she is about her cubs. I don't care if she's mad at them or whatever the hell they was playing and doing something wrong. Let somebody try to raise up on her cubs. Let her see one of her cubs in trouble and watch how that lioness will raise up. So you're always supposed to be there for them and love them. And for all of those children who have toxic parents, pray for your mother. Don't sit around and dishonor her and try to humiliate her and talk badly. Pray for her. The same way you would pray for your marriage. The same way you would pray for your husband who's toxic. And we know we got a lot of those. Just look at Divorce Court and Dr. Phil, honey. These women are praying hard for those men. But anyway, pray for your toxic mom. I just wanted to share that with you. I'm going to go pray right now for that young lady. And maybe we could all send out some prayers for her. Because she kind of looks like she's at the end of her rope right now. And she can use some prayers. Twinkle, twinkle, twinkle. I love you.